swearing in. Raise your hand, please.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Gray, good morning.
Good morning.
Give us your whole name for the record.
Jeffrey Marcus Gray.
Well, first of all, just tell me what is a civil rights investigator in your eyes? I think your response is say you're self-employed as a civil rights investigator. Tell me what that is.
I define a civil rights investigator as a person who goes out and engages in lawful, peaceful activity that's protected by the Constitution to investigate whether government employees respect that right.
Okay. All right, I want to get into the incident that you filed a lawsuit over. Lawsuit stems from incident at the Waveland City Hall on May 30th, 2023. Is that right?
Yes.
Let's start with the people that you sued. Your complaint says that you sued the City of Waveland and Joseph Joffrion. Is that correct?
Correct.
And originally there was William Andrus was named, but he's been dismissed from the lawsuit. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. First off, just tell me, why did you sue the City of Waveland?
Why did I sue the City of Waveland? Because I believe that my civil rights were violated, my First Amendment protected rights.
By Joffrion?
Well, he said that the mayor instructed him to do what he did.
Okay. Any other reasons besides your interaction with Joffrion and him saying that the mayor is the one that told him to go out there? Is that why you sued the city?
Yes.
Okay. Any other reason?
For violating my First Amendment protected free speech rights.
I understand the incident and what happened, but you understand, I'm just asking why the city? Why is the city named a defendant other than the fact that Joffrion works for the city?
I'll have my objections in the legal nature of the question. The witness can answer to the best of his ability.
Yeah, just that that was all part of the City of Waveland. Joffrion works for the City of Waveland, he's a police officer, and he told me that the mayor instructed him to come out there and do what he did.
Okay. So you don't know of any kind of unconstitutional written policies or anything like that Waveland has? You're basing it on your interaction with Joffrion and what he told you. Is that fair?
Yes.
Do you know anything about how the officers are trained or anything like that?
No.
There's not any kind of specific written policy that you're objecting to or challenging, right?
No, I don't.
Describe for me, what's Joffrion, what's he look like?
Joffrion, from what I recall, he's, when I see in the video, he's a white guy, white gentleman, probably 6'1", 6'2".
How much do you weigh?
I'm not sure. I don't.
Big guy, small guy?
Big guy. He's probably over 200.
What color hair do you have? Do you remember?
I think he had dark hair. He had a hat on, from what I recall.
Okay. How tall are you?
6'1".
How much did you weigh on the day of this incident?
About 280, about that.
Are you bigger than Joffrion? Were you bigger then on that day than Joffrion? Yes or no?
No.
You're not bigger than Joffrion.
We looked about the same size. I mean, he's a pretty big fella.
Okay. All right, let's start just before the incident. You're from St. Augustine, Florida, is that right?
Correct.
Had you ever been to Waveland before?
No.
Had you ever been to Mississippi at all before then?
Yes.
How many times?
I don't recall how many times.
I mean, frequently or just a few times?
Yeah, I visited my Uncle Mark. Probably driven through Mississippi. I think when I was a kid, I went to Mississippi with my dad.
Okay.
You know.
Now, my understanding is that on this occasion, let's just say how far is it from St. Augustine to Mississippi generally? How long is the trip?
To here, it was 630 miles or so. I don't recall how far it was to Waveland or anything.
Okay, so pretty long distance, right?
Yes.
So let's call it the trip, all right? On that trip to Mississippi back in May of 23, you conducted investigation, let's call them that, you conducted investigation at several cities on that trip, right?
Yes.
Okay. Prior to that trip, had you ever done any civil rights investigating in Mississippi at all before then?
No.
Okay. How did you choose to come to Mississippi on that occasion to do these civil rights investigations?
I don't really remember the specific reasons. I just kind of wanted to go see Mississippi. Just kind of take a road trip and see Mississippi.
Were you there to visit anyone, or were you just there to do these investigations?
I was there. You know, it's kind of a two-part thing. You know, we get to I get to go on road trips, and I get to visit these cities and do the God Bless Homeless Veterans.
Did anyone go with you on that trip?
No.
Okay. What in particular were you wanting to visit? Was there anything in particular in Mississippi that you wanted to see recreationally, personally, anything in addition to doing these audits?
Well, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I just wanted to I go to Gulfport. I've never been to Gulfport before. I wanted to see that place, and I wanted to visit these city halls and spread this message of God bless homeless veterans. And I try to get there when early, you know, if I can, but that only can happen once a day. And when the staff is arriving, because I like to spread this message directly to the staff, because they're usually the ones that are passing ordinances and things like that that directly affect homeless veterans.
How do you decide who you're gonna investigate? Like, how did you make the decision? Okay, this trip I'm going to Mississippi. I'm gonna hit these cities. Like, how do you make that decision? What is your inspiration for that?
My inspiration is just basically I'm going to go to every city I can in America, God willing, at some point, you know, and just go spread this message to the city halls.
That particular trip, what was the total trip? How many days were you in Mississippi?
I don't recall. I want to say it was 2, but
Well, let's skip ahead a little bit. My understanding is that you did your investigation activities at several Mississippi municipalities, including Gulfport on May 30th, Waveland on May 30th, Goshen May 31st, Ocean Springs May 31st. Then that was that trip. Did I miss any cities?
I don't think so.
Okay, I have you here on May 30th and May 31st, and those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4 cities that you investigated. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. Night of May 30th, where'd you stay?
I stayed in Gulfport.
Where at?
Slept in my car.
Where at?
It was in a parking lot of a public park.
Did you do anything recreationally or see anything or visit anything on the trip other than doing your...
Yeah, I did some walking and checked out the port, walked around Gulfport a little bit, checked things out. And just driving, seeing Mississippi while driving.
Did you go to any casinos or parks or, or aquarium or anything like that on the coast?
No.
What time did you get to the Waveland City Hall? Do you remember?
No, I don't recall.
when you first arrived to Waveland, did you go directly to City Hall, or did you drive around the city first, or look at anything, or?
Well, I remember driving through Waveland and noticing that they were pretty cool looking houses, and it was really a beautiful place along the water and stuff like that, just kind of part of the road trip.
But you didn't visit any businesses or anything like that before you?
I don't recall. I may have visited a gas station or something, but.
Let me just ask you again, just sort of globally, from the time you parked at City Hall in Waveland until the time you interacted with the officers and ultimately left, about how long were we talking? How long were you ultimately there?
Gosh, I'd have to guess. I don't remember, it's 35, 40 minutes.
Okay. Under an hour?
Yes.
Okay. Now, a lot of what happens once you arrive at City Hall is captured on either video or audio, is that right?
Yes.
All right. So let's start with you just telling me what device or devices you recorded on. My understanding is that you had one in your pocket, right?
Had my iPhone in the pocket.
iPhone in the pocket, okay? And then there's something in the car.
There was a Ion action camera.
Ion action camera. Okay. So that's what was in the car?
Yes.
And then now in Discovery, you produced some officer body cam footage, which we'll get to that later. And then you produced two separate video recording angles. That's the Ion action camera and then your cell phone, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's two audio recording files, is that right?
I believe so.
Okay, just explain to me as a general matter, what are the separate recordings? Why is there separate audio than the video? Was there a separate device used for the audio?
The separate device I use for the audio is my Apple Watch.
Okay.
It records audio.
So then, what you had that day were three separate devices. An iPhone, cell phone camera, right? Correct?
Yes.
A Ion action camera in the car, correct?
Yes.
And then your Apple Watch.
Yes.
All right. And so the Apple Watch is just what gives us the audio.
Yes.
All right. Have you produced to me everything that you recorded in the city limits of Waveland on this day?
Yes.
Okay. So nothing at all was lost or deleted?
No.
All right, so one of the first things that you do after you park is you get out and you go inside of City Hall, is that right?
Yes.
All right. Let me start by asking you this. Do you know what kind of business is conducted inside of Waveland City Hall?
Specifically, no, but I guess it would just be typical City Hall business.
All right, and what do you consider to be typical City Hall business?
Public records requests, people paying bills, people seeking information, things like that.
Okay. And then when you were there, you encountered several people going in and out of City Hall, correct?
Yes.
Approximately how many?
Approximately 6 or 7.
Okay. Do you know what those people were doing?
No.
Okay. So you don't know what their business was for going inside City Hall?
No.
Okay. You were there at City Hall to do your investigatory activities, correct?
I was there to do my investigatory activities as well as spread the message of God bless homeless veterans
Okay.
to City Hall employees and folks coming and going from City Hall.
Okay. Any other reason you were there?
No, sir.
Okay.
I did have to use the bathroom when I first got there.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. All right, so I assume as a auditor or civil rights, investigator that you're familiar with concepts like traditional public forums, limited public forums, non-public forums, things like that. Are you not?
Yes.
All right, just tell me in your own words, what do you understand those concepts to mean? Start with traditional public forum.
Traditional public forum, from what I understand, is long been held and understood by the courts to be a place where freedom of speech is accepted the greatest, with the least amount of restrictions, other than time, manner, and place restrictions.
Okay. What about a limited public forum? What's your understanding of that?
A limited public forum is a place where free speech can be conducted, but it's more restricted by time, manner, and place restrictions.
Okay, now you don't disagree that even traditional public forums can be restricted by time, place, and manner restrictions, do you?
I don't disagree.
So you agree that I'm correct about that? Even in a traditional public forum, then there can be reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions that are constitutional?
Yes, in a traditional public forum, there are reasonable time, manner, and place restrictions.
Okay. And in a limited public forum, what's your understanding of the government's ability to restrict, if any?
I just more focus on the traditional, but non-traditional public forum is, I guess a government can cause a person to have to get a permit or request a permit and do it in a certain area or certain times.
Okay, what about a non-public forum?
Non-public forums are typically a secured or restricted area that free speech is not allowed.
And your understanding, as you've articulated these concepts to me, where does your understanding come from? From litigation, from training, from reading, from where does it come from generally?
From the YouTubes,
Okay.
from the internet,
Okay.
and reading, right.
Okay. Well, what materials have you read that have explained these concepts to you?
You just Google traditional public forum, and typically what comes up, I read that from whatever source it might be.
And then on the YouTube ones you're talking about watching, I think you said other similar civil rights investigators?
Or other attorneys
Okay.
that explain traditional public forums.
That's fair. Are there any particular attorneys that you have watched or tried to be educate yourself on?
The civil rights lawyer.
Who?
It's a channel called The Civil Rights Lawyer.
Okay.
His name is John Bryan. There's Steve Lato from
Okay.
Lato's Law. There's a guy, Southern Draw Law. He's an attorney that I like to watch.
Okay.
There's also, of course, I go to Institute for Justice, FIRE, the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, the ACLU, places, things like that, either on YouTube or just on the internet.
Got it. Okay. All right. Now, pretty quickly after you park at City Hall, you go inside to use the restroom, right?
Yes.
All right. What kind of forum do you contend the inside of City Hall is?
It's limited.
Okay.
My understanding is limited.
What about people's offices within City Hall, like inside, behind closed doors? What do you consider that to be?
I would consider that to be restricted area.
So
Public,
non-public?
non-public, yes.
So when you say you consider the inside to be limited public forum, you're talking about like the hallways and general?
Public, just the general public access areas.
Okay. So not like a sidewalk, it's a limited public forum in your view?
Inside City Hall is limited public.
Okay. What about like restrooms inside City Hall? Do you think those are just open to the public generally, to anybody, even if they're not there to conduct any kind of business?
Yes,
You think that they are?
yes.
So you think anybody on the street at any time can just walk into City Hall, use the bathroom, and walk out, and that's open to the public?
Yes.
What about if somebody were to just come in and sit down in the hallway of City Hall from 8 to 5 or whenever City Hall is open? Do you think people have the right to just sit there and stare at the wall all day if they want to?
I don't know. It's not something I've ever done.
So you don't have an opinion on that one way or the other, whether you think that would be constitutionally permissible?
No,
No, you don't have an opinion?
no, I don't have an opinion.
Now, when you were in the restroom, was anybody else in the restroom?
No.
How do you know that? Did you check?
Yeah, it was, the stalls were open, I was the only one in there.
You continued recording while you were in the restroom, correct?
Yes.
And you can actually hear yourself urinating on video, right?
Correct.
Do you know whether there's any law forbidding people to video record inside a public restroom?
No.
No, you don't know one way or the other? Or
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sorry, read that question back.
Do you know whether there's any law forbidding people to video record inside a public restroom? No. Do you know one way or another? No, I don't know.
Okay. Now, after you finished using the restroom, you exited the City Hall doors, correct? You went back outside?
No, that's not correct.
All right, tell me.
Well, I went into to City Hall. I made sure and got permission from the city workers to use the restroom, and they said it was fine. And then after I used the restroom and washed my hands, came back out, and I thanked the city workers for allowing me to use the restroom. And then I believe I informed them that I was just going to be outside with my sign spreading the message, there's no need to be alarmed. And I went outside.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. So when you first go in there, you said you asked permission to use the restroom, correct?
Correct.
All right, you said to a single person or to a group of people, or who all did you talk to? The first person you spoke to?
First person I spoke to saw sitting behind the counter. Other people may have heard me ask, but I was directing my question to appeared to be a city worker sitting behind.
Okay, and she told you where the bathroom was? And you
Yes.
went to the bathroom?
Yes.
All right, and so then you contend that you came out of the bathroom. Were you holding your sign the whole time?
I was carrying my sign.
Okay, and so you said you come out of the bathroom, and then you said you go back. Did you go back to the same lady or someone else?
I don't recall if it was the same lady or not.
Okay, what do you recall about the conversation? You said you may have a while ago. Do you recall a conversation with someone else before you walked back outside?
I recall going, after using the restroom, coming back out, walking back up to the counter, and speaking to whoever it was behind the desk and thanking them for,
So the same person that you talked to before?
I don't know if it was the same person or not. I mean, we can watch and find out, but I don't know if it was, I can't recall if it was.
Okay. And tell me about that conversation.
I just thanked her for letting me use the restroom, and I believe I let her know that I was just gonna be outside with my sign.
Okay, and all that is caught on video, that second conversation?
Yes.
Okay. And so then you walk out, you exit the doors,
Yes.
right? All right.
There was a lady coming in. I held the door open for her. She thanked me. I believe I said, "God bless homeless veterans" to her.
Okay, then when you exit the door, you stood on the porch area at the top of the steps for some period of time, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Just so we're clear, the way that City Hall is constructed, there's steps that go up onto a little porch area, and then you can walk inside City Hall from the porch, is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about that porch area. Do you contend that that porch area is a traditional public forum
Yes.
or a limited public forum?
Traditional public forum.
Okay, why do you believe that?
My research in case law, where a guy was arrested standing at pretty much the same type of area on the landing of the steps, and the courts determined that that was traditional public forum.
What case law in particular are you talking about?
I can't think of it. Puyan versus Wasso.
What court?
I don't recall which court it was.
I mean, you know, the trial court, Supreme Court?
I don't recall.
Okay.
I believe it was Puyan versus Wasso.
Wasso, where is that at?
Oh, Wasso.
What state is that in?
Somewhere up north, I'm not sure.
Okay, so then, in your view, you think that people are completely free to sit or stand on that porch at all times, regardless of whether they're conducting any city hall business or not. Is that your position?
No,
Okay. Why not if it's a traditional public forum?
because there's reasonable time, manner, and place restrictions.
Okay.
That you set at all times. So I think during normal business operating hours, if a person was to stand up there and express their rights in a peaceful manner, that absolutely is a traditional public forum. But after hours or 1 o'clock in the morning, no.
Okay. So in your view, if you wanted to stand on that porch right by the door with your sign, in your view, that's no different than the sidewalk, and they're both traditional public forums. Is that correct?
Personally, I wouldn't stand right in front of the door, no. I would stand off to the side and stay out of the way and, be peaceful and polite.
Okay, but on the porch, but you consider that to be a traditional public forum, just like
Yes.
the sidewalk? Okay. Well, what if somebody wanted to sleep on the porch? That'd be okay too?
No, I don't think that's, personally, I don't think that's okay.
Okay. So somebody, in your view, somebody wouldn't have a constitutional right to sleep, only to hold a sign?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't understand.
What if 150 people wanted to come sit up there with signs at the same time and stand on the porch? Do you think that that would be constitutionally permissible to not allow that?
150 people? I don't know.
Do you know whether Waveland had any signs, either inside or outside City Hall, saying who could be there or for what purposes, or designated them as particular forums? Do you know one way or the other?
I don't recall seeing any signs like that.
Okay. Do you know if they have any policies at all to that effect?
No. I don't.
Now, you were on the porch area in front of the City Hall entrance doors for probably about 5 minutes. Does that sound right?
3 minutes, 5, somewhere around there.
Okay. I got the video at 3 minutes and 2 seconds to the 7 minute 54-second mark, but we can agree somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes.
Sure. Yes.
And then the entrance doors, they're mostly glass, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then there are also windows on both sides of the doors. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, while you were on the porch for approximately 3 to 5 minutes, do you know if the employees inside could see you?
They should have been able to see me. The windows were open, yes.
Okay, and you could see them, correct?
Yes.
Okay. In fact, on several occasions, you looked through the glass and looked at the employees inside City Hall, right?
No.
You never looked through the glass and looked at the employees in City Hall?
I looked through the glass, yes.
Okay, well, what was on the other, what did you see when you looked through the glass?
Glass door, the city had posted public notices on the other side of the glass. So I looked through the glass to read the public notices.
Okay, so the only time while you were standing on that porch that you looked in was through the entrance doors. Is that what you're saying? So in other words, did you ever look inside through any of the windows?
I looked through all windows that are open. I didn't walk up to them and look at them, but any window that's open, I can look through.
But just from a distance, you didn't go directly up to any of the windows on that porch?
I don't recall.
Okay. And did you go directly up to the doors and look inside the doors?
I looked through the window to read. I was reading the public notices is what I was doing.
When you were reading the public notices, could you see the employees inside?
Yes, I could see people walking around.
Now, didn't one of the employees on the inside close her blinds at some point when you were standing on the porch?
I don't recall.
You don't recall whether that happened?
No,
You deny that that happened, or you just saying you don't
I
know?
just
whether
don't
that-
recall. It may have.
Do you know whether any of the employees inside could read your sign or even knew what you had in your hand at all?
I mean, I was had my sign in my hand. I could probably see the sign and read it. Yes.
What was I mean, you were not holding it up in front of the door where they could see it, were you?
No.
Well, how would they have been able to see it the way you were holding it?
I mean, it was just in my hand, just holding it,
By your side?
or just holding it. Yeah, I was just holding it. They could see it.
Would they have been able to read the sign?
Yes.
So when you were on the porch, you were facing the glass doors, holding the sign up in a manner where the people on the inside could see it?
At some points, I may have been holding it up, so while I was reading the public notices, some points I may have been holding it down.
I mean, I understand why you would be on the sidewalk holding it up where people are walking in and out, but so were you trying to direct the sign to the employees on the inside?
No, I was just holding my property, just keeping my property with me.
Well, that makes sense that you would hold it down by your side or something like that. I'm asking, were you displaying it in a manner where they could see it, or you wanted them to see it?
No, I was just reading the public notices.
What kind of sign was it? Was it a cardboard sign?
Yes.
And it said, what did the sign say?
I believe on one side it said, "God bless the homeless vets." On the other side it said, "Please pray for the homeless vets." Or it said, I know one side said, "God bless homeless veterans," or "But God bless homeless vets." On the other side, I believe it said, "Please pray for the homeless vets." I mean,
What was it written in?
it was written in Sharpie marker.
Black Sharpie?
Yes.
Okay. All right, then after the period of time that you were on the porch, you walked down the steps in front of City Hall, is that right?
Yes, onto the sidewalk.
And then several people passed by you walking in and out of City Hall. I think you said how many approximately?
Approximately 6 or 7,
Okay.
around there. And there was also people driving up and down the road and riding bikes up and down the road, and I was waving to them too.
Do you know any of these people that passed by?
No,
Okay. You didn't know them then, you don't know them now, correct?
no, I don't know them.
Right. Other than what would have been caught on video, you've never had any other correspondence or discussion with them, is that fair?
That's fair, yes.
All right. Do you have any idea what they said or didn't say to any of the employees on the inside of City Hall?
No.
Now when these people were walking by you and then when the officers eventually approached you, where exactly were you standing at?
I was standing on either the sidewalk or the grassy area by the sidewalk, kind of over in front of where I parked my car.
Okay, and that was my question, is it just like a concrete slab or is it an actual sidewalk?
It's a sidewalk.
Okay, and it's bordered by grassy areas?
There's the sidewalk, and there's like a little grass area, then there's the curb, then there's the road. And I'll have to step into the grassy area to make sure that people that are walking up and down the sidewalk, they can move by without, I would stay out of people's way.
All right, and that area, the grass, the sidewalk, all of that, what kind of forum do you contend that is?
Traditional public forum.
Okay, and explain to me why it is that you think that.
Just from my knowledge and my research from the internet and just my life, that is a traditional public forum.
Okay. Now, while you were there, did you ask anybody for money?
No,
Do you know whether anyone thought you were asking for money?
I don't know.
But didn't one lady try to give you money?
She did, yes.
And did you accept it?
No.
Okay.
And I explained to her that I was just spreading this message, trying to put compassion and kindness in people's hearts for the homeless veterans, and she was very thankful for that. She thanked me for that. And
So at least this one particular lady thought you were asking for money?
yes, she tried. She offered me money.
Okay.
Or she offered me food or something like that. I don't know if it was food or money.
Well, then a different lady told you, made the comment, "You look healthier than me," right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's on
Okay.
audio, correct?
Yes.
Do you have any idea what she would have meant by that, other than she thought you were out there either begging for food or money?
No.
Would it be reasonable to assume that she thought that if she made that comment?
Yes.
All right, then eventually, Officer Joffrion and Andrus, they arrive, correct?
Yes.
All right, and Officer Joffrion asked you if you had your ID on you when he approached you, is that right?
Yes.
And after that, you ask him why, right? Why do you want it? You questioned why
I
he
questioned,
wanted it.
yes.
All right, and by my count, Officer Joffrion asked you for your ID at least 7 times before you actually provided it. Do you dispute that?
That sounds fair.
Okay. Why did you not immediately comply with Officer Joffrion's request for your ID?
Well, because I'm a civil rights investigator, and I know that I am not lawfully required to produce ID if I'm not suspected of committing a crime, and I was engaged in a constitutionally protected activity on a traditional public forum. I have a Fourth Amendment right to be secure in my personal papers and effects.
So then you contend it was an unlawful order for him to demand your ID?
Yes.
And for the reasons you just told me?
Yes.
But now you told me earlier you had no idea what anybody had told any of the city employees, right?
Yes.
And you have no idea when Officer Joffrion got there what anybody had told him, did you?
I did not know what anybody had told him, no.
Is it your position that Officer Joffrion was required under the law to tell you why he wanted your ID?
No?
I think you hinted at this earlier, but what do you believe was required for Officer Joffrion to demand your ID? What would have been required?
He had to have reasonable articulable suspicion that there was a crime being committed. And he,
Being committed at the time or had been committed?
the
Or
crime
either.
was afoot.
Crime what?
Afoot. And since I was engaged in constitutionally protected activity, peacefully and politely, there was no crime.
But you have no idea what he was told before he got there, right?
Correct. It's his job to do an investigation when he gets there. That's why I told him exactly what I was doing from the very beginning.
Well, if somebody has a right to investigate, then do you think they don't have a right to ask you for your ID? If they're conducting a lawful investigation?
I don't think they have the lawful authority to demand ID for a constitutionally protected activity.
Okay, what if somebody had told an officer that you assaulted them or that you spit on them, and it may not be true, it may be completely false, but that officer is reasonably told that, he shows up, does he have a right to ask you for your ID? Yes or no?
Object to the form of the question.
I don't know.
Okay. Change the facts. Say that, not you, just say some random person is out there holding a sign that says, you know, God bless the homeless vets. They spit on somebody when they're walking into City Hall. An officer is made abreast of that. The officer shows up and asks that individual for their ID. Do you think that the very fact that they may also be participating in First Amendment protected activity by holding that sign, that the fact that they spit on somebody walking into City Hall, that somehow alleviates the obligation that they have of producing the ID when the officer asks them?
Object to the form of the question.
I'm not able to answer hypothetical questions that don't involve me.
As a civil rights investigator who has been practicing as a civil rights investigator since 2011, you do not think you're qualified to answer that question?
I think when an officer has received phone calls, they are hearsay. When the officer arrives on the scene, it is his duty to investigate whether there's a crime occurring or not. So that's why when he arrived, I told him very specifically what I was doing. I'm engaged in Constitution protected activity, safeguarded by the First Amendment. I was standing on a public sidewalk. I'm not asking for money. I'm not begging. I'm just spreading this message.
Do you think he has to believe what you have told him if other people have told him things to the contrary?
I believe he has to do an investigation.
Do you think asking for your ID is a permissible investigatory technique?
I believe it's a violation of my Fourth Amendment rights to
Why?
demand my ID without reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime.
Do you think he has to articulate it to you?
No.
Okay. Then back to my point. If you have no idea what an officer was told, just because you say I'm engaging in First Amendment protected activity, why do you think he has to believe you?
Why would I think that he has to believe the callers?
That, by definition, that is reasonable suspicion. That is why someone would be conducting an investigation to determine who's telling the truth. And that is why someone would ask for your ID. Do you not understand that?
I disagree.
Okay, well, tell me what I'm wrong. Where was I wrong in that?
I believe an officer has an obligation to hear both sides of the story.
Priority asking for an ID?
Of course. How is an ID going to tell him whether there's a crime before? Is he going to take the ID and ask it, hey, ID, is Jeff committing a crime? Is everything that the people call with hearsay is true? Hey, ID, what's going on out here? Or is he going to investigate the crime and listen to what I have to say and what they have to say and observe what's actually going on?
Okay. Understood. So you disagree that in your opinion and in your education and experience as a civil rights investigator, your position is that if an officer receives a complaint and the suspect says, I'm not doing anything wrong, there's no right to ask for an ID.
He can ask for it all he wants. He doesn't have the legal authority to obtain it at that
All
time.
right, got it. All right, thank you, sir. Once you eventually gave your ID to the officer, he then called it into dispatch, is that right?
Yes.
And then once the dispatch confirmed your identity, he told you you're free to go, correct?
Yes.
Then you asked him if you could stay, and he said you couldn't, essentially, right?
Yes.
All right. And after this, what did you do? Did you leave Waveland?
I asked him why I couldn't stay, and he said, you're not staying here, period, or something like that. And I said, and if I don't leave, what will happen? He said, you're going to jail, no questions asked. So in order to avoid going to jail, I got in my car and I left.
Okay, and where did you go when you got in your car and left?
I don't recall.
Remember if you left Waveland altogether? Or?
I did leave Waveland. I got out of Waveland, but I don't recall what my route was after that or anything.
All right, now you are aware that after the incident, Waveland began getting all these calls, some very vulgar, to the police department, right?
Yes.
In fact, at the beginning of one of your videos, there's a quote, right, from the police chief that says, when hundreds and hundreds of the same people keep calling over and over again, it's not helping. It's just complicating matters. The language being used against these young ladies who answer the call is not appreciated. You recall that quote?
Yes.
All right. At any point, either on social media or otherwise, did you ever encourage anybody to call Waveland?
I put a post up that said that you have a right to petition the government for redress of grievances, and if you choose to do so, please do so in a polite, peaceful, and constructive manner. Do not make any threats or anything like that.
And did you give them the number to call?
No.
Okay. Is that post still up today?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember when that was that in connection with the very first post that you made?
I don't recall which one it was. I don't recall which one it was.
Do you know the identity?
But also, I'm sorry, also in my in the description on my page, you know, when you go to somebody's channel, you can hit about.
Mm-hmm.
I put that as the description on my page. Please, if you choose to petition the government for redress of grievances, you know, to do so in a polite, peaceful, constructive manner, but don't make any threats, don't do anything illegal. You know, this is not what we're about.
So you wouldn't sanction, the vulgarity of the calls, is that fair enough?
I don't understand what you mean.
I mean, you wouldn't encourage somebody to come and use curse words when they're calling the,
No.
right? Would be unprofessional.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't encourage them to be cursing or yelling or anything. I would, to try to be constructive.
Do you know the identity of anyone that, called?
No.
So nobody has ever particularly told you, hey, I called Waveland?
There may be somebody like in the comment section, but no, I don't specifically know of any.
None of your friends called?
I don't know.
You're not aware of it, any of these acquaintances, these other auditors that you, nobody ever said, hey, Jeff, I called, nobody, nothing like that?
No.
No. Do you yourself ever call?
No.
Since May 30th, 2023, have you ever returned or visited Waveland?
No.
Any particular reason?
Scared. Scared that, of Joffrion.
It has not stopped you from conducting audits in many other towns, is that fair?
Correct.
In Waveland, you didn't receive any kind of citation or criminal notice or anything like that, right?
Correct.
Never received any kind of warnings or anything outside of what is recorded on video, correct?
Correct. Nothing in writing or anything like that.
Well, nothing outside than what's recorded on your video?
Correct.
Did you ever file a complaint with the Waveland Police Department?
No.
With anybody at the city?
No.
Did Joffrion tell you that you could file a complaint?
Yes, he did in the video. In the right.
What'd you say, very end?
Yes.
The day in question, what were you wearing when you were conducting your investigation in Waveland?
In Waveland, I was wearing basically what I wear as a truck driver, my Dickies, what I have on right now, the Dickies cargo shorts, and either a Dickies or a Carhartt pocketed t-shirt.
It was all black?
Blue and black, navy blue and black.
Navy blue and black, all right. You had a black baseball cap on that day?
Like a grayish baseball cap.
Do you always wear the same thing when you do your audits?
Yeah, I just wear this all the time. I'm wearing it right now.
So no particular reason?
No, it's just because when I was a truck driver, I've got like 7 pair of Dickies cargo shorts and 7 pair of Carhartt or Dickies pocketed t-shirts. I just have a whole bunch of them. They fit me good. They're comfortable. That's what I want to wear everywhere.
Fair enough. We said that your sign is cardboard. Why cardboard?
Cardboard is free and it's everywhere.
Are you trying to give the impression that you yourself are homeless?
No.
Let me just ask you about damages. So in your discovery materials, you say you're requesting compensatory damages and then attorney's fees and costs. Let's start with compensatory damages. What damages are you saying that you suffered and that you're trying to recoup in this case?
Pretty much what's entailed in the lawsuit.
I'm just asking you in your own words, what damages have you suffered?
Violation of my civil rights, very basic, very fundamental civil rights, and haven't been able to go back there and exercise them since. And I'm afraid to go back for actually.
Why have you not been able to exercise them since?
As far as I know, I'm still trespassed from Waveland.
Why would you think you're trespassed from Waveland? Are you suggesting that you're banished from Waveland, Mississippi?
That's what I understood from Joffrion when he said, leave, and I believe he said something like, don't come back.
So you're getting that from the comments that are on the video? Your interpretation of what Joffrion told you is that you are banished from Waveland, is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay. And what specifically makes you think that about his comment? What's the specific comment that makes you think you're banished?
Well, when he said, Mississippi is not a free will state, and if you don't like it here, you go back to Florida. And then when he told me I was free to go, I said, can I stay? He said, absolutely not. And I said, what will happen if I stay? He said, you'll go to jail, no questions asked. I'm not sure if that's exactly. Mm-hmm. And then I said, well, and he said, don't come back. To me, that means if I come back, I'm going to be arrested.
So you didn't think he was talking about that specific spot at that specific time? That was not your interpretation?
No, I thought that meant don't come back means just don't come back.
Okay, so as you sit here today, you don't think you're allowed in Waveland, Mississippi? Is that your testimony?
That's what I believe. Yes.
And that is based solely on Joffrion's comments?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think Joffrion has any authority to ban you from Waveland as a sergeant in the police department?
I don't know if he has any authority to do it, but I know that he was threatening to arrest me, and I'm afraid that if I go back to exercise my rights at Waveland City Hall, that he's going to arrest me and take me to jail. The last thing I want to do is go to jail in Mississippi.
We've been back to Mississippi since then, right?
Yes.
And you've done investigations. How many do you think you've done since that day? Hundreds?
No.
Not in Mississippi, everywhere.
Oh, everywhere. 20 or 30 city halls, I guess I've been to, maybe more.
Do you want to go back to Waveland?
Yes.
Okay, what do you want to do in Waveland?
I want to go back to Waveland and stand on the public sidewalk and hold my sign and spread that message, God bless Thomas veterans, without being told that I'm going to go to jail for it.
Have you ever tried to inquire to anybody and ask them if that was okay to do that or go back or anything?
No.
You've never requested that from anybody who has the authority to?
I expected them to contact me and say, hey, look, that was a mistake. You have a right to free speech and you can come back, and that's not been done. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not allowed there.
Okay. What other damages are you saying that you've suffered?
Just basically civil rights violations.
Okay, has it manifested itself in any way other than the fact that your interpretation is that you can't go back to Waveland? Any other manifestation of the violation?
Well, I mean, and on that day, him telling me to leave, I'm going to jail, no questions asked, and yeah.
So the very fact that you had to hear that with your ears, is that what you're saying, or has it manifested in any kind of way that has caused you any kind of harm? That's what I'm asking you.
It's caused me not to be able to exercise my rights freely on a traditional public forum in Waveland, Mississippi. And
okay. Any other? Is that it?
That's it.
All right. All right. That's all I got.
Mr. Graham, show you some of the footage. Specifically, this is IMG_8002.MOB at minute 0:53 seconds.
Hi, Mr. Jeffrey, where you go? Where you go? Can I stay? No, you cannot stay. You gotta go. If I don't go, I go to jail. If you're a lawful order, not come back.
Mr. Joffrion's lawful order not to return, is that why you believe you can't return to Waveland?
Yes. Correct.
That's all I have. Thank you.